let's move on to PSX, but more specifically, The Last of Us Part 2.
Longer hours.
No.
Less pay.
No, you're gonna die.
And all the responsibility.
Okay, congratulations on having a shitty ad. Oh, let's put piano. Boop, 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 boop. Let's talk about PSX, and more particularly this ad that's playing. The most interesting thing, and a surprise to me because I wasn't even really thinking about it. I didn't even think about predictions at all for PSX. The Last of Us Part 2. And The Last of Us, extremely good. A lot of people have been talking about the ending of The Last of Us and how The Last of Us 2 isn't necessary, isn't needed, isn't wanted, whatever. Fine. There's an argument to be made that maybe you don't need that, and having an addendum to the story isn't beneficial. But I'll argue that by that same idea, we would have never gotten Terminator 2. And like for every Matrix sequel, we get something like Terminator 2, which is incredible and adds to the franchise. So I think it's kind of premature to dismiss The Last of Us 2, Part 2, whatever, as being something that ruins the first game. I think that's jumping to conclusions that aren't necessarily warranted yet. Because while the ending and while the entire game of The Last of Us is great, there is more you can tell. There's definitely, the story is a section of, a year of these people's lives. More can be told, more can be said past that. Just because it had a nice little ending doesn't mean it has to end there. It also doesn't mean it has to be good after this. And I think the game mechanics in particular warrant a sequel more so than the story. So which is why, and I think I did a topic about this a while ago, about what I'd like to see from The Last of Us 2, because I did replay through The Last of Us, the HD, whatever, in May or so. And I would have rather seen something like just completely different people's story. Sure, I would have liked to have seen that, but there's something they have here with Joel and Ellie that is kind of unresolved. There are some questions lingering, and maybe you can look at it and say, we don't need those questions answered. Sure, maybe we don't. We don't need those questions answered. And if you don't want those questions answered, you don't have to buy the game. You don't have to play it. And if you don't want those questions answered and you play the game anyway, and you don't like how it is, you can just kind of not think it exists. There's a lot of people that don't like Back to the Future 3 and just kind of ignore it. Didn't ruin their life. Didn't change anything. It doesn't have to affect your appreciation for the first game if you don't like the second one. In the same way, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is not very good. It's okay. It doesn't ruin how much I like the Harry Potter movies or books, right? That doesn't change anything. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Just because you didn't like Batman v Superman doesn't mean now Batman's ruined. Like, that's a stupid way to look at things. So there's that. I think there's a lot of hyperbole and like, we don't need this. We don't need this. Like, well, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need this. But also, this game is years out, and we're not even really seeing something that it may or may not be in the game at this point. I think they said it is, but that could be a lie. That could change. This entire scene could be reworked around. Who knows? It's going to be coming out in years. So you don't know what this is. And to say, oh, we don't want that right off the bat is kind of like, well, let's wait a minute. Let's see what they come up with. Come back to us. Maybe we don't want this. Come back to us in a little bit of time. Show us some more Last of Us Part 2. And then maybe, okay, we'll judge from there when we actually have something to go on. Instead of just, well, she wants to kill some people. Fine. Let's wait and see. Because it's happening. You can't be mad about it and that they're going to change their mind. It's happening. Now, they could develop the game for a year and decide to cancel it because they don't like where it's going, but that's really not going to happen. That's a crazy pipe dream if you're hoping for that. At the end of the day, though, I think it's very exciting. I think this is the most interesting thing to come out of PSX, to come out of any gaming press conference in a while. The Last of Us is great. I think after playing, I played Uncharted 4 and then The Last of Us again, so I could kind of compare them. I think Uncharted 4 is better, just from a lot of perspectives, and a lot of the changes they added into Uncharted 4 in terms of the stealth and stuff like that could be added into The Last of Us 2 and make it incredible. And it looks phenomenal. Just update those systems a little bit, make all the puzzles not moving block puzzles. And let's see where the story goes. It takes place a couple years later. It's about revenge. Okay, I'm in. I'll see what you have here. Because judging a 15-hour game on a 2-minute teaser trailer, that's a little silly. That's a little silly. And I think as many times as something gets ruined by a sequel, I'd kind of like to, sometimes you want to see that sequel. You want to see what happened, even if it's going to end up being bad. Maybe that's not a good way to look at things. Maybe that's not even a good reason to say anything about it. But that's what it is. It is what it is, and it's going to be here, whether you want it or not. And I think a lot of people want it more than a lot of people don't want it. But let's talk about PSX, because there's a lot of junk going on at PSX. I have to scroll. Now we're not going to watch all these trailers because it's ridiculous. It's out of control. So we get another. It's now more of like a splintered off section, standalone. Uncharted 4: The Lost Legacy with Chloe and Nadine. That's fine, I guess. I don't really care about Chloe or Nadine, but whatever. I'll take more Uncharted 4. I just don't. I wasn't huge into it. It was just like, okay, I would have rather. Maybe I'm one of the few people who would have rather have Sam and Sully jumping around doing stuff. I think Uncharted 4 criminally underused Sully, and it's a crime. Criminally, it's a crime. I would have rather. I mean, not to spoil the end of Uncharted 4, I would have rather them done something with the end of Uncharted 4 for the expansion. But I can understand why you wouldn't do that. So let's look what else we got. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, fine. I mean, that's for people. But there's a lot of stuff going on with that. There's no X-Men. No thanks. Let It Die, which I'm a big fan of Suda 5-1. And I don't even know. You see, it's Suda Goichi. Goichi in Japanese is 5-1. If you were to say 51, it'd be Gojuichi. So that's it. But everyone still calls him Suda 51. So I don't know what he wants. That's neither here nor there. The game looks incredible to me. I need to still play it. It's kind of like a broke-ass Dark Souls. And I can enjoy that. Batshit insane, that's exactly what he does best. So I'll get to that. Maybe next week. Let It Die. Now, okay. I don't know who wants this Crash Bandicoot. I'm sure there are a lot of people. But after playing it again in Uncharted 4, that game's bad. Like, Crash Bandicoot's not a good game. I don't get it. It's not fun to me. It kind of controls like garbage. You can't see anything. It's not fun. I don't know. I don't know, but it looks cool. Looks like weird claymation puppets. It's kind of disgusting in that way. Like, it doesn't have enough fur detail. Everything's just like this flat, molded gel. It's weird. It's weird to me. We're getting more Spyro racing? Sure, let's call it Spyro racing. We have yet another trailer for Horizon, which I didn't really watch or pay attention to because they're ruining this game. They're showing way too much for Horizon. They need to stop. They needed to stop like 2 trailers ago. They keep ending these trailers with like this, and then oh fucking hell! I heard this thing from the conference they did at PSX about Horizon Zero Dawn, where they mentioned, oh, it takes place 1,000 years into the future, and I'm like, it's on Earth? I really hope I read that wrong, because that was a fucking thing that would have been amazing to find out in the game. Insane. I hope I read that wrong, and that's not true. Because holy shit, that's so fucking dumb. Why would you mention that? Why would you even say that? Just say it happens. It's on an Earth-like planet. Like, oh my god, it's so dumb. So dumb. I think they ruined a giant thing if that's true. That's true. That is a giant thing that could have been an amazing moment that's now ruined. And I guess I just ruined it for all 3 people that'll watch this, but I mean, I am sorry. A little bit sorry. Windjammers. I mean, we need a thing for this? There's more Resident Evil 7, which we'll get to in a moment. It's on the side. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, over here. Oh, my hand's gone. Wipeout is getting a remaster. We get to the remaster party soon. Knack 2. No one cares. Lara Croft Go. We knew that would happen. Now, here's where we get Parappa, Loco Roco, and Patapon, all getting remastered for PS4. There's a lot of nostalgia going on for the PS1. In particular, these games. And obviously they're using it to gauge something, right? Interest in a sequel or whatever. So between Wipeout and Parappa, Loco Roco, and Patapon, that's 4 series. Now, Wipeout is, I guess, more contemporary. But why? How is this happening? Who are these 4 all together? It just seems like they're investing a lot of money into this stuff. I guess to make weird little stopgaps in your release calendar. Like if you have Horizon in February, you can have Crash a couple months later, and then a bigger game in the summer, maybe Gran Turismo, and then another little one, and then Days Gone or something. You know, like, I guess you could use them like that, little stopgaps, but it's very strange. And who wants Parappa? I haven't played the demo yet. I guarantee you I'm going to hate it. Guarantee you I'm going to hate that demo. I don't think that game's very good. Loco Roco I will play. I will probably play that. I like Loco Roco. It's stupid. It's my kind of stupid. Got this, Yakuza, and Yakuza Kiwami. Danganronpa is phenomenal, and I need to play the second one. It's something where it was so good, I didn't want to play the second one. I kind of wanted to wait and savor the moment that I had more to come, that I had more content to come. But at this point, I need to just play the game. Ni no Kuni 2 looks phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. The first game, incredible. Done. I'm in. Absolver, no one cares. I don't even remember what that is. Multiplayer combat role-playing game. That's literally everything. I don't know what that is. Let's see what it is. Watch out, children. The fuck is this game? No, this is garbage. This is hot trash. No one wants that. Star Blood Arena, no one cares. VR shit, dogfighting, Ace Combat, yeah. Ys Origins, that's cool. Ys is good. Thumbs up. Ooh, Next Machina looks great. Dreadnought, fine. There's a lot of fine here for me, but I understand a lot of people are more interested in it than I would be. Gravity Rush 2. Nier Automata, or Automata, or whatever it is. I want to say Automata. Automata. I don't know. Gets a release date. Not the release date for PC, though, which is upsetting, but looks great. Wasn't mentioned here in your little write-up, Polygon, but there was a new trailer for Neo, my game of the year, that is not even coming out this year. God, that game's amazing. So I think, overall, let's just keep this weird girl's face on the screen. I think PSX did a really good job after last year's, like, bleh, showing that was just really not, I mean, it had stuff going on constantly. Here's a trailer, here's a new game. It wasn't all amazing, but there was something for everyone. I mean, they had baseball and Destiny, they have VR, they have Patapon, like all these weird things all together. That's nice. It's nice to have that. And we got more Uncharted and more of The Last of Us. So that's a really good show. That's a really good showing. There's also some stuff that they left on the table. You know, there was no Days Gone there. There was no, that David Cage game, I'm forgetting that, Beyond Detroit. It's Detroit Become Human. Beyond Detroit, Human, David Cage. There was none of that there, so they still have stuff up their sleeve. What is on the floor right now? Oh my god, alright. Chillax. I think it was good. Very, very marked improvement. Very, very improved, I think, over the PlayStation Pro reveal, which was just bad. Just real bad. And I think even better than the E3. I think E3 was good, and they had a lot of really cool reveals at E3 this year, but it wasn't jam-packed. It kind of went over things again. It's like, here's the Last Guardian again. You're like, alright, okay. Hey, remember when we revealed Days Gone 30 minutes ago? Here it is again. Okay, that's really strange, but if you want to do that, I'm like, you remember Horizon? Like, yeah, I do. Here's a trailer. Alright. Like, so I think this did a better job of that and kind of showing every PlayStation, everything. Here's what you got. Except for PS3, which is dead now. Very dead. So, sorry. Sorry, PS3. No one wants to play you. Go back and play a PS3 game. I dare you. I dare you. Go back and play Red Dead on PS3. It looks like trash and it runs like trash. It's bad. Don't go back. Don't go back there. It's a bad place to be. It's a real bad place. Oh, this was the space thing, right? The spacey? I just don't care about VR. I just can't. Alright, moving on. Get out of here. Be gone, PSX. Let's move on. To Dead Rising 4, we have right here. There's something very weird about. Oh, Joel, you're here. Well, I think we're both kind of PlayStation fanboys a little bit. It was great though. It was a great show. I need to adjust. There's a lot of delay going on. I'm already in Dead Rising. I'm not even on PlayStation. Take that, PlayStation. Think you're so cool? You don't have Dead Rising. Heh. Heh. Wake up. Wake up, stream. But Dead Rising 4. This is now going to be weird to edit, is basically all that is.